Welcome to the platform optimization video. In this video, we will learn how to customize our platform, set trades, set our stops, profit targets, and how to close positions, as well as a number of different pending orders. First of all, once we open our MT4 platform, we will be presented with charts that have the standard default settings. So the first thing we want to do is change this. In order to do that, we right click anywhere on the chart, select properties, and now this inset window will give us the picture or the image of what our charts will look like as we customize them. So we'll start off by changing the background. We select the drop down menu, and I'm going to change the color of the background to be white, and then I'm going to change the foreground to be black. Just going to swap those two around. It's giving me this picture here. I'm going to also disable the grid. Now if you like these squares on your charts, feel free to keep them there. I prefer my charts without the grid, so I'm going to just deselect the grid by selecting none and have a nice clean charts. Now I want to change the candlestick bars to the default bars, that's industry standard, and I'm going to change the bar up to green. The bar down is going to be red. The bull candle, which is going to be the fill of these bars, these candlestick bars, I'm going to make them the same. So bull candle is going to be green, and the bull candle is going to be green, and let's just reset that, and the bear candle is going to be red. So I'm just making them the same so we have a standard configuration here. Once I've done that, click the OK, and what it's done, it's changed the chart to the color code that we configured. We have the bar charts, which is the default setting, so I'm going to change that to candlesticks. So at the top menu we have the candlesticks icon, just click that, and our charts now have this configuration. Now I want to save this so that it's easy for me to have this configuration for any chart that I'm going to open. In order to do that, just right click on the chart, select template, and then select save template. Once we get the save template window up, we have to give our template a name, so I'm going to go ahead and call that Mike. You can call the template anything you wish, so I'll just call it Mike Standard, and then you select save. Now just to confirm that we have saved to the template, if I right click on the chart, select the template button, and inside the list of templates down here I have Mike Standard, which is the template I've just created. So if I'm going to bring out a new chart, if I do File, New Chart, select a chart, for example the Aussie dollar, it's going to come out with the default settings. Now all we need to do is apply our template on top of that by right clicking anywhere on the chart, selecting template, and then go down to Mike Standard, which was the template I just created. Click on that and it automatically configures our template to what we want. So that's how we can customize the color coding and the chart surface. Now I'm just going to go through some of the options here at the top of the menu. First of all, we have multiple time frames. We can select any chart from the monthly time frame to the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 minute. And we simply just click on the time frame, and the chart will automatically display the bars of that chosen time frame. Then up here we have the different types of displays, so we can choose to have a bar chart if we want, the candlesticks, or indeed we can use the line chart. We have a zoom in button so that we can zoom into the charts. This is maximum zoom. If I'm doing some measuring analysis, I can zoom in and see a clearer picture. If I want to compress the chart to have a look at the macro picture for the time frame I'm viewing, then I can simply zoom out of the chart, and that's maximum zoom. Shows me the bigger side of the trend. Then of course we've got this is to tile the windows so I can have multiple windows displaying. We've got the auto scroll bar, which you can deselect if you want to scroll back without your charts jumping back to being up to date. Then you can take the auto scroll off. When I put the auto scroll back on again, then it jumps back up to date. So if I'm trying to scroll like this, the minute I release, then it brings it back up to date. So that's what the auto scroll does. And then of course chart shift, you can shift the chart if for any reason you wanted to do any measurements or write captions before your chart, you can shift the chart. This is the selection of arrows, thumbs up and check signs that you can add to the chart if you are labeling any form of analysis. So for example, if I wanted to show where an entry was, you can use the arrows to plot on the chart to show if I was trying to describe something in terms of support or whatever I may choose. Then if I want to write text, I've got the text box here. Just click on that to select it, go anywhere on the chart, up comes the text box, and I can type anything that you want to type. You can change the colors and I can change the font if you choose. Once you do OK, the text is written on the chart, and you can do that in terms of analysis as well. We've got the lines on the chart, so if I wanted to draw a trend line, pick up the trend line tool and I can draw trend lines. If I'm doing analysis, again any technical analysis, I can use that, or I can use the horizontal line if I want to plot lines on my chart. If I want to customize these lines, you double click on these lines, and once you double click on them, you'll see these two white boxes will appear. That's to show that the lines have been selected. And then if I right click on the line, it gives me the horizontal line properties, in which way I can change the style of the line, and I can indeed change the color of the line. Once I do OK, then that applies the line. If I double click on the line afterwards, it's now not highlighted, and that line now will not move. Vertical lines are here, and if I want the crosshair, so if I want to measure, typically good and useful when trying to ascertain stops and profit targets, it basically allows us to measure price. Then of course we've got the quote board over here. The quote board shows all the currencies that are listed. You can select which currencies you want. So for example, if I don't want the Aussie Singapore dollar, just right click on it and then select hide, and that will disappear from the list. If I want to move the orders around, so if for example I wanted to move the Euro Aussie above the Euro New Zealand above the Euro Aussie, just pick it up, hold down the left button of your mouse and drag and then release in the area where you want it, and the currency will move. It's a simple drag and drop technique. It's showing the bid and the asking prices. So again, for us to monitor our spreads when we are placing trades, it's always good to look at the difference between these two. So as an example, the euro versus the US dollar is at 140.09 to 140.11. So again, we've got 2 pip spread there.